Happy Saturday morning. I'm using as usual, we are able to do a lot of things with my size 6 silver black velvet, and I have a backup 3/0 Raphael Petit Gris mop brush. So this is a round brush and this is a mop brush. I've got 3 palettes. I don't know what I will work with today, but this is called Tropicals of Art Philosophy. I've been using it quite for the longest time. In Philippine pesos, one palette is 1,500. That is roughly around $30 US. And this is a Terrain by Still Art Philosophy. They used to be called Prima Marketing. Okay, I've got this, and to my left you will see a gigantic pan of paint pots. That's Shinhan, and I got that off the internet for about 1,000 pesos. Somebody was selling it newly squeezed, so to speak, and in dollars that would be about 20 US. And I got this little brush holder from a workshop or an eyeball event. Very cute, right? It's, I'm sure, made out of clay that was baked, so that stays there. Today is another day for my me time floral wreath painting, so please join me. I will go for the terrain colors today, and let's see what we come up with. As usual, they're going to be roses. I start with them. I find them to be my anchoring florals. They are, for me, very happy. But for those who have not watched me paint, I've never said this actually, so this is news to everybody. I actually don't like roses in real life, or I don't like being given roses. Possibly because I find flowers, although romantic for sure, a cost that could go to food during dating, or yeah, and only, I guess, the rich people tend to see it as a romantic gesture. So I would rather, so I'm catering, I guess, to my romantic side when I do roses and florals. But really, flowers are, I've noticed, very hard to, at least for me, since I'm not a green thumb, roses are hard to cultivate, and so, you know, growing them takes a lot of effort and patience and know-how. That's why I am now interested in them. So lately, in the last week or so, I've been doing the last layer in a roughshod way. You know, it's not round as the other layers. I'm trying to see what I can do to make it irregularly shaped, because you know that roses are irregularly shaped. So let's try to level up in that sense and see what happens next. Okay, let's go for this orange. Let's see if we can bunch them together. The nice thing with palettes, like the ones with art philosophy, and I'm not being paid to say anything about it, is that, or the palettes anyways, is that the colors are so beautiful when placed together. Makes people think I had a hand in, you know, choosing the colors, but really the choices were made for me, and they're very wonderful. Takes away a lot of the guesswork, but I guess that's just in the beginning for beginner painters. Not that I'm like the most sophisticated painter of them all, right? It's just that I've been doing a lot of me times in the past, yes, I can call it years now, and I have not veered much or veered away from these palettes. One, because they're not yet finished, and two, because they make me happy. There, I've got 2 roses. What will I do with my wreath today, you ask? I don't know. I tend to work instinctively, so anything goes, and that's the fun of it, I guess. Maybe I'll put the 3rd rose here. Let's work with 3s. So when you lower the tip of your brush, you pretty much charge the paper or load the paper with color, because the liquid lives inside the brush, right? And you're letting go of so much when you push down on your bristles. So every time you see that the paintbrush leaves the screen, it's because I am loading just pure water on it. I am divesting it of actual color, and I'm just dragging the paintbrush to pull color from the paper. Okay, I'm outlining it. I don't know what this will do, but you know, lots of it is what's the word for it, exploratory and self-discoveries. There we are. So we have got 3 roses. Maybe I will add to the center while it's wet, and in keeping with the idea that the middle portion of the flower is the darkest, let's load it up so that I don't have to go back to this later on. Okay, there we are. So you've got our 3 anchor flowers, and let's see what we can do. What color does this make? Let's find out. Okay, this color is a beigey, khaki-like apricot yellow, orange, peach color. It's been a while since I've used this palette, so I can't recall how it translates on paper. But since it's very light, I'm charging or loading it with another color I see on the palette, which is like a burnt toast color, but when I put it on the paper, it's yellowish. So we work with that. There we go. See? It's a little yellow gold color. Very nice, actually. Very sunny and happy. We likey. And I'm doing the ribbon type And I'll go a little wavy because it's too perfect. And let's see what this does when I do that. I'll continue this flower. There we are. And why don't I put a little purple in the center? Okay, moving on. Let's go for the small petaled ones that I like. I tend to do these flowers when I'm trying to unload all the paint from the brush, and it's an economical way of doing it. I don't like wasting the paint that's already there. Although, as I said, I've had this palette for, I'd like to say, years, and I have not been successful in finishing it off. So it's not that it gets finished quickly, it's just that I'm mindful of how much I waste and how much I can use. Okay. Let's go on this side. Nothing here, so we can come up with some happenings. Saturday mornings. I would very much like for you guys to support me and click on the YouTube and the Instagram links that I've posted so that you can subscribe, like, and follow. And therefore you may be able to watch more of these very relaxing, I'd like to think, and I've been told, paintings that I make. And hopefully, since they're like tutorials, you learn a tip or two. And if you're not fully ready to take on a class, just keep watching. I'm sure you'll get the hang of it sooner than later. And it would be nice to have you in class. I give Zoom classes. Way before the pandemic began, I was already giving classes online. So it can be done, and it has been done, and it's a good way to get your creative juices flowing. You need an outlet, and this could be it. Okay, so I'll just keep going. I'll see how much paint gets me. So I'm running out of paint, but then it translates to a very light petal creation here on this side, which is fine, right? Because you can do something about it, and it becomes potentially a new flower. And if the flower petal doesn't look great the first pass, I tend to make an outline of sorts. But the messy one, I let the portions with white, or the portions I don't paint, I leave them alone because they translate as highlights, or portions where light touches the painting or the flower. And again, people think that I'm a genius, but really it's the nature of liquids or water, the water in the watercolor, to find itself. Why don't I continue here? It looks a little off. There we are. Let's add more red to the center. Watercolor dries lighter, so you can keep that in mind when you're painting. If you think it's too dark now, it lightens up. Alrighty, what else can we do? We can lighten that somehow and come up with a light pink and putting it with this initial beigey khaki one. And now I have a muted red that I'm working with. So I go play with the orange again. I will add it to the red so I can segue back to orange. I'll go make that big flower here. Okay, I do this with my Zumba kids class. When I ask them to critique each other, and I ask for critiques that are positive, I ask for words, or for them to use words that are anything but okay, nice, great. Maybe if you're going to make a comment and tell me how I'm doing or how you feel about my paintings, can I ask you to be not creative, but, you know, without offending you, but to be a little bit more specific on how you feel, what makes what I do nice for you. Remember, everything's subjective, so it could be nice or it couldn't be. For all I know, you find it repetitive, which is fine, or plain, simple, unimaginative. Let me know. The only way we grow, literally, is with change. And if there's something I need to change, it might as well come from, you know, people who see. And sometimes they're very short-sighted. We only see what we want to see or what we're used to seeing. And you can be my catalyst for change. So anyway, this blue of sorts is found also in the palette, and I haven't introduced it yet, so this is a good time to do it. I will try for a different no, it became the same. So I won't rock the boat yet. Oopsie. We need to add more. So let's see what we can do with this. loading paint where I can. I got very quiet all of a sudden. I wasn't expecting that I would run out of paint on the bristle, but I will work with that. So we just continue. Ooh, this is light and two-toned. I like it. I like it like that. So we work with what we have. Things you learn when you paint. Things you start accepting when you paint. Okay. There we are. Let's load the paint where we can while it's wet. Okay. Let's put some here. Okay, you'll notice that there's only some things we can do with a round brush on the initial stroke, and then you'll have to fix it after. There's some paint brushes that do jobs for us very quickly. I am not using them today, but you know, other flowers or other shapes can be done in one stroke using certain brushes. Maybe I can pull out more brushes next time, but not today. Again, I'm not really out there to show you or sell you brushes. I'm just here to paint for me in the mornings, and if you so like what you see, maybe I can invite you to join me for a class. So anyway, I'll see what I can do with other paint brushes, since I do have all sorts of brushes in my brush keeper, and they're just there, right? So if you want me to use other brushes next time, can you say so in the comments? Okay. Let's add happy yellows on this side. Okie dokie. Ah, why don't I do a gladiola? The assumption is this one is a sphere-like flower, and you only see part of it. Okay, and there, that's one. I go add. Ooh, how intense. I like. Yeah. Let's see what happens when it lessens intensity on this side. Can you guys see? Okay, I've taken classes wherein we really have to pay attention to where the light is and all that. I'm not doing that today. I'm just doing what I feel like, where my hand goes and all that. But if it's one of those days wherein we really pay attention, whoa, it is a thinking class. I've experienced workshops wherein it feels like a roller coaster ride because, you know, you're working with people, they're telling you what to do. Very exciting stuff. And you don't want to make a mistake. And since it's the first time you're doing stuff, there's that tendency. But in the end, everything is pretty, it just doesn't feel that way in the beginning. And those are fun too. When I join classes as a student, oh, love. And I miss those days. It's just that no time to schedule those. I actually am happy because I was able to book 5 webinars last night. I do speaking engagements also. And with the speaking engagement schedules, and they don't jive with painting classes that the schedules of the painting classes that I would like to join. So that's that. Maybe next time. Maybe if things were scheduled months in advance, oh, I think I'd be able to join something. Let's turn this paper around. And maybe we can work with something. We can do something to this little corner here. Not even a corner, but you know what I mean. Let's work with orange. It's the least represented color so far, I'd like to think. Here, so we go and do something with orange. Okay, so when it's very intense, the color, that's when there's so much paint loaded on the brush, right? That's okay for me because then I can make a play out of contrast, meaning when something is very dense with color and when something is very not. And this way, when this painting is pictured, I'd like to use that word. If you take a picture of it and change the filter to black and white, then you will still see that the painting is not flat. There are dark portions and light portions. And I guess filters and cameras can detect the difference between pigmentation. Okay, and that's a good thing. So now I'm just adding water to whatever's left whatever paint is left in my brush, and I'm just doing very light stuff. And maybe I change color and I add. Okay. There. Almost reminds me of, you know, leopards and tigers because they are everywhere. Maybe we can start going with the greens. Doesn't need to be a very big wreath today. So for this palette, we've got 6 greens. Take no note of these. These are 3 extra colors that I ordered or I got for free at some point in time when I ordered. So anyway, I'm going to use 3 greens that come with the palette because they're pretty. We start with the lightest one. It's called Willow Tree. And because it's light, it might not register initially, but that's fine. Uh-oh, I mixed it with a little orange, so it's somewhere in the yellow-orange. Maybe I'll add it here. I couldn't help myself. Okay, well, we're back with the Willow Tree, and then I'll add a little balsam. And we'll go for the same shaped leaf. That's balsam. Let's go for the roses. The mixture I made almost came out to some kind of apple green, although not nice, not bad. And then I move on to early spring. Let's see what this can do. I'll go for the rose again. Still there. Shades of the last one. But again, the paint company chose this color combination for a reason. It will probably look so much more later on when I'm done with the other green colors. So my questioning it, too early might just kick me in the teeth, right? So the next color is Vine Leaf. Let's see what this can do for the red. It's getting a little darker. This one has a little yellow in it. Maybe I'll lift some yellow from this. Just to... Alrighty. We continue on. Let's work with this green. And just give it... Okay. When it does that, the color was not loaded evenly on the brush. But... for me, who cares? Let's just make leaves. I changed the color. It is now called Spanish moss. So let's go for Spanish moss a little bit more. I'm turning the paper around, and I'm careful not to dirty my palm as I work. Okay. And the last one is called Fern. Let's show them what you've got, Fern. It's It's a green yellow. Oh, it's a happy limey green. Works for me. I'll jump because I don't want the limey greens to be so close to each other. Okay. I'll move back to the Spanish moss. Painting is so fun. You come up with something new, something unique, something nobody has but you. And if I were to give this away for Christmas, would you want not a copy, because there's no copy, would you like an original? See? We can always say original. Oh, how cool is that? So, I hope people like my painting way before I expire. Would you like an Araneta original? That's my last name, by the way. Or is it you don't say Vincent, you say Van Gogh. So, would you like an Araneta original? Yeah, I like it. I like the way it sounds. Yes, I would. Where did you hang yours? So just going round and round and round. So I'm using the brush differently, and that's why I'm leaving, how do you call them? Pointy tips on the leaves. Maybe I should do more of these on some corners and sides. Just to match things up with what I did earlier. So how do you like the green aspect of, or the green offerings of this palette? Cool, huh? When they're mixed together, they're nice to look at together. This portion has no green inside, so I'll choose this type of leaf here. There we go. And the idea of making things a little bit more symmetrical is starting to happen. Has a lot of pigment. So hopefully that balances things out. Let's just add water and nothing else. Happy colors, happy colors. Oh yeah, suddenly singing a Christmas tune, but that's okay. At least I didn't start singing the Christmas songs in September. Like Philippine radio makes a joke of it every year, in fact. So when your paint is darker, you can overlap it with something else, and that's called glazing. When your paint is darker, or when your paint, the paint below it is dry. Okay. I will finish this painting sooner than my usual 1 hour. Maybe because the circumference of the wreath is smaller today, and I guess there's nothing wrong with that. And if we're happy with the colors, then we're happy with the colors. We don't have to go do anything else. Oopsies. Okay. Maybe something here. And I think we're done with the leaves. Now I'm just going to get blue and purple. Blue and purple. I'll mix it in some portion of the palette. And I'm going to use the blue and the purple to come up with the center of the different flowers that I have, just to tie it all in. Okay. So, what have you got planned for your day? Today, I've got lots of stuff. I even have webinars that I'm taking that starts at 9 p.m. and will end 5 a.m. next day, tomorrow. So I have to be mentally prepared for that. Oops, I missed this. What else am I doing today? There's the second year anniversary of Young Living in the Philippines. So there's a 9 to 5 Zoom event. And because I am also a state ambassador for Nirvana Fitness, we have a free webinar from 3 to 5 later. Okay, you can join us, learn also about how to breathe correctly. I mean, no offense by saying, you're still alive and all, but there's a really good, efficient way of breathing that helps you live longer, look better, breathe more efficiently, and when your body is fully oxygenated, you can rock, your organs are healthy, your skin's healthy, you can sleep well and do more. And since COVID-19 is something that attacks your breathing, you may as well strengthen up. Can you say that? You can become a little bit more mindful and aggressive about your breath health, your oxygenation. And join us from 3 to 5. So I have a 10 to 5, a 3 to 5, and a 9 to 5 the next day. And I decided to still paint this morning because I wanted me time. I wanted something for me first. So this is a subconscious way also of putting myself first. Not anymore subconscious. I'm telling myself, and I know. I see it. So I'm putting myself first so that later when I'm listening and trying to pick up all the details, and while I'm talking during my own webinar along with some Nirvana education specialists, I know that I'm prepared, that I'm grounded, and that I can do it. And there we go. I clean the brush a bit, put the brush down, and I present to you my November 7 finished painting. Thank you for watching. Please join me on YouTube and Instagram, okay? Like and subscribe, follow, and befriend. Bye!